G'day guys, Shane Mostner here. Welcome to 5 Minute Friday. Today we are doing an astrophotography test with 4 different phones. The location that we did this testing was just outside of our town. It's a Bortle 4 location, so it's got a fair amount of light pollution there. And basically what we're going to do is put all these in the same position, take the same photo, and we'll see what we can get. We are talking about 4 different phones here. We're talking about 3 flagship phones and 1 mediocre phone. We're talking about the S21 Ultra from Samsung. We are talking about the iPhone 12 Pro Max, the Pixel 4a, and the Huawei P40 Pro. All of those are, well, they're pretty good bloody phones to take photos of the night sky. We're going to do a number of tests. 1, the ease of use, the ease that you can do this sort of photo. 2, custom controls, so not the ease of use, but how customized you can make it. 3, we're looking at the results straight out of the phone, straight out of the camera, and we're going to grade that from 1 to 3. And lastly, we're going to grade some edited photos and just see what sort of things you can get out of these phones. The ease of use. These 2 phones, this is the Samsung Galaxy S21 and this is the Huawei P40 Pro. Both of these phones have night mode, but for astrophotography, night mode sucks. Both of these phones have very, very good pro modes, but ease of use, not that straightforward. You've got to do a little bit of tweaking and going so forth and so on. So for both of these phones, they're getting 1 duck's nuts. The iPhone 12 Pro Max has night mode. You put it on a tripod, it gives you 30 seconds, shoot in RAW, that's all you've got to do. This one here, she gets 2 duck's nuts. 2 duck's nuts for ease of use for the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Lastly, we have the Pixel 4a. Pixel cameras with the astrophotography mode. You put this on a tripod, tells you to go to night mode, tells you then to go to astro mode, push the button, wait 4 minutes. You cannot get easier than that. It just takes a bit of time. So, as far as ease of use goes, well, the Pixel camera, the G-Cam, it's the duck's nuts. We'll give it 3. Custom controls of this camera. Well, we all know that some of these are just bloody good. Well, we're going to go pretty much the opposite way as what we just did then. The Pixel 4a has no custom controls whatsoever. You touch the sky for focus, push the button and wait. This doesn't even get 1 duck's nuts. It has no custom controls whatsoever. The iPhone 12 Pro Max, well, you can shoot this in night mode on a tripod, gives you the option for 30 seconds. Touch on a star for focus, you can adjust the exposure up or down, and you can shoot in Pro RAW, which means you've got to edit that photo afterwards. So there's a little bit of customization there, but really not a great deal. These 2 phones, they're meant for ease of use. So I'm going to give this one 1. Next up, we have the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. This thing is an absolute powerhouse when it comes to taking night photos of the night sky. And the custom controls on this are pretty good. You go into Pro mode and it gives you incrementally shutter speed. The downside of this is that it jumps from 10 to 15 seconds and then to 30 seconds. There's nothing in between. And when you factor in the rule of 500 with the focal length on these lenses here, you know that none of those fit perfectly in there. There's a sweet spot between 15 seconds and 30 seconds. It goes up to ISO 3200 and it's got manual focus. So I'm going to give this 2 duck's nuts. The Huawei P40 Pro, this is still an older phone, but I'll tell you what, the customized controls on this and the manual controls in Pro mode, well, you can go up to 6400 ISO and the seconds for shutter speed is incremental all the way up. 15, 20, 25, 30. You can shoot that rule of 500 absolutely on the nose and you don't get any star trails. It's a dead set ripper. So this one here, we're going to give it 3 duck's nuts. Let's check the scoreboard. So Galaxy S21 Ultra, we've got 3. The 12 Pro Max, the iPhone 12 Pro Max is also on 3. The Google Pixel 4a is also on 3. Pulling ahead slightly is the Huawei P40 Pro with 4 duck's nuts. Next up, how do these photos look straight out of the camera? No editing at all. First up, the Pixel. The Pixel is a powerhouse as far as astrophotography goes, and this result, well, it's what I expect to get from it. Pretty light polluted area. You can see on the horizon there's a lot of light coming off the town, and you actually lose a fair bit of the stars on the horizon, but that galactic core is definitely there. It's not as, it will really stand out as much as you'd want it to be, but the stars look nice and crisp and sharp. It's just a bloody good photo. We'll give this one 3. Next up, we'll go the iPhone. The iPhone with the JPEG, there's a fair bit of noise there. It does what it does, all that artifacting. You may have seen a video I did last week. I'll link it up the top there with the iPhone and how much it's improved. What we've established with that is I think there's a little bit of AI learning on that camera, and it learns what I'm doing all the time, and it learns what you're doing all the time, and it makes your photos better. Because I shoot in an area that's basically got no light pollution, when I've come to here, where there is a bit of light pollution, well, the photo doesn't look as good as I would have liked it to be. But look, for a phone, still, that's pretty bloody good. For an iPhone that has virtually no custom controls whatsoever. But really, when we're comparing this to the other 3 phones that we're talking about here, this one doesn't rate that high. We're going to give it 1 point. Next up is the Huawei P40 Pro. There's actually 2 photos for each of the next 2 phones because I was able to get something pretty cool out of the wide angle lens, the ultra wide angle lens on both of these phones. And well, here they are. First one is the regular photo, regular lens, the wide lens on the P40 Pro straight out of the camera. Now, if we look really close at this, you'll see something that I don't normally see on camera phones. There's a few hot pixels on this. Normally see that a bit on the GoPros and some of the DSLR shooting and mirrorless shooting, but there's a few hot pixels on this. This next, and there's a nice cool sort of tone to that. The next photo is the P40 Pro with the wide, ultra wide angle lens. There's a bit of a green look to this. I'm sure we can fix these colors. I'm not too concerned about that, but have a look at the detail in that core. That is bloody amazing. There's a few hot pixels again on this particular camera, and only because of those hot pixels, and you can see it down the bottom more so with the ground. That should be black. That should be like a full-on silhouette, and you can see the hot pixels down the bottom there. But the color, it's not quite right. I'm sure we can fix that, and I'm sure we can fix the pixels, but because we have to fix it, I'm only going to give this a 2. Next up is the Galaxy S21 Ultra. First up, we've got the wide lens, so not the ultra wide, just the regular lens, and that's this photo right here. There's a pinkish purplish sort of tinge to it. I've reduced the shutter speed on this one so we don't get any star trails, and that's what I expect to get out of the phone as a JPEG. Not too bad. We all know that the power in this phone is with the RAW files, and that's what we'll see very, very shortly. The next photo here is the Galaxy S21 Ultra in the ultra wide lens, and I'm going to be honest, that's pretty bloody disappointing. If I didn't know better, I would have said that came out of an iPhone wide angle lens, and that you don't want to see that. That looks really bad. So this photo here, I'm a little bit disappointed. It's obviously a lower aperture on this camera. So anyway, we'll put that one aside. But for the photos straight out of the camera, no editing at all, I'll give the Samsung Galaxy S21 2 points as well. Okay, the edited photos. Let's have a look at these. Now, I'm not going to tell you which one is which, see if you can guess. And if you guess right, let me know. Put a little comment down the bottom there and let me know. First one here, and I've numbered these 1 through to 6 because 2 phones here we've taken photos with the ultra wide lens. First one here, number 1. This looks like to me that we are in a pretty bloody good time to be taking these sorts of photos with phones, because that's some good detail there in the galactic core. We're pretty lucky to have this sort of stuff. But I'm telling you now, I know which phone that is. I'm going to give this a 2 because I can see some problems with that I don't like, and I know I had some trouble fixing this up. So that particular one is getting a 2. I'll bring its buddy over. This buddy here is the wide angle lens from the same phone. Different colors. I had trouble getting these colors the same, but that there, the amount of noise, I'm really, really happy with that. I would give that between the 2, and I'm giving it the extra point really because we can take an extra photo on the same phone between 2 different lenses. I would have given it 2, but because we can get the 2 photos, I'm going to give it 3. That particular camera is getting 3 ducks nuts, the first and second photo. This one, now this one here looks to me like it's also an ultra wide photo, and there's a lot of haze in this, and I had a lot of trouble getting rid of this haze. I just could not get rid of it. Ultra wide lens, still good detail in the galactic core. The trees, which I didn't mention in the previous photo, they actually don't look too bad. In this one here, they look a little bit too blurry. But look, I'll give this a 2 as well. And its buddy is this one here. And this photo is absolutely on point. I really, really like that photo. It's good detail in the core. The trees aren't too out of focus because we're at infinity focus. These look pretty bloody good. I'll give that one there 3 as well. I think that's really, really well done. This next photo is, well, to be honest, I don't usually edit these ones because you don't need to. So you should know which phone this is out of. And look, that's as good as I can get it, and in all honesty, it's bloody worse. I liked it before I even edited that photo. Last photo here, no prizes for guessing which one this is, and that's as good as I could get out of this particular device, as close to the light pollution as we have. So how did we finish up? Before we get into the numbers, if you want to have a look at these photos, I'll actually put them on a Facebook page this time, over there at Shane Mostyn Mobile Photography Bloody Legends group. So just search for that on Facebook there, Bloody Legends, you'll find us there. Answer all the questions, or we just kind of don't let people in unless you do. And you'll see these photos for yourself. So coming in last is the iPhone. It sucked diddly yucks. Coming in at 7 points. The Pixel 4a, very easy camera to use, very effective camera to use, came in with 8 points. Now, what else have we got? We've got the Galaxy S21 Ultra. It came in at 8 points. 8 points. And the Ducks Nuts, coming in at 9 points, is the Huawei P40 Pro. That thing, it is the Ducks Nuts. I'll catch you guys next week. See you later.